are the sounds of nature. Some call it peaceful, others find it lightly irritating. Switching out the rings for a pair of gloves. Can the girl in the tweed vest please put the ice cream down? Oh my goodness, where is my ice cream? Here's my coffee. Where did I put the ice cream? Ah, here it is. Just give me a minute. You know you're living the good life when you're drinking out of a donut mug and eating a double chocolate ice cream at the same time. Okay, where was I? Distracted. Another day. Similar kind of makeup look. Another ordinary day doing ordinary things. Today is a lovely day. It's a little bit crisp, but the sun is also starting to creep out, so it's a little bit warm. But because basically there's no wind and it's not raining, we have decided to pop out to the local park and have just a fun day with the kids. Down in the grass, on the playground, on the swings, doing all the bits, walking all the walks, and enjoying a bit of fleeting sunshine. So just fueling up for the very, very leisurely journey actually. It doesn't involve that many calories to be burnt, but my motto, always be prepared. I'm so sorry that I had to dash love you and leave you in the first segment. Barbie movie feedback. Basically, I would give it, in a nutshell, a 2 out of 10. I'm the kind of girl that life is serious enough that when I go to watch something for entertainment, I want to be entertained. I want a good storyline, really get immersed in the plot, but this film was very political, really like a feminism movement, and we're all for that. However, I think it's been kind of done to death a little bit, and I thought the movie was perhaps more targeted to a younger audience. The film is actually centered around a mother, and she's quite relatable, and she gave a really good speech midway throughout the film where I actually perked up and paid attention and nearly brought me to tears. It was a really wonderful speech about how basically as women or even as mothers, like you can be thin but not too thin. You can be beautiful but not too beautiful, because then people will make a comment, and can't go out looking a certain way, or you'll attract a certain attention, and you can't call out your husband's behaviour or he will complain. And basically we tie ourselves up in knots is how she ended the speech, trying to get everyone to like us, to please everybody, and at the same time pleasing no one and not even pleasing yourself. And that in a nutshell I think is a journey for a lot of us women and a lot of us mothers, and it was a really good reminder. Actually, it was really reflective of how I've been feeling lately, so it was really good to listen to that and know that I'm part of a bigger, greater community that feels exactly the same way as me, and that made me feel really empowered. But in terms of the plot and the entertainment factor, I would call it -1. Margot Robbie, of course, was beautiful. The costumes were beautiful. The interlude of musical theatre wasn't necessary. I was just really confused. I would not see it again. However, go out and enjoy. We'll take something away from it, but for me, I took something very minimal away from it, as in it wasn't something that I didn't know already. However, an important message to be sent out to the world of people that are perhaps quite naive to such ideas. So an important film, I think, for those in the community that perhaps aren't as enlightened. But for those of you who are enlightened, I wouldn't suggest you go see this film. The Barbie cocktail was interesting. Me and my mum shared it. I didn't mention it was actually me and my mum going to see the movie, which was really lovely. It's not very often we get out together, and we shared a Barbie cocktail which had fairy floss and gin, which was interesting, and we had some popcorn, we had some thick shakes, and they had oat milk, so I was a happy girl. Anyway, that aside, movie review done. I was really happy to step out in my I just love motorbike riders. It's the obnoxious ones. They do it for me. Really. Anyway, back to the studio. we're going to the park, and I'm going to take you with for a little family day. And also what I'm really looking forward to, for my own selfish reasons, there's a little community garden there that I'd like to check out. Haven't been down there in a little while, and there's always something new growing. In fact, next time I might even pluck some of our parsley roots or something and pop it in there in the community beds to contribute to the ever-growing bits and pieces that are down there. But very curious to see what's growing there at the moment. Might pick up a few bits of fresh produce. We shall see. Now that I am, of course, gardener extraordinaire, if I had a stage director right now, I can just hear them yelling at me, can the girl in the tweed vest please put the ice cream down? And the simple answer to that is I will when I'm good and ready. Basically, why I'm wolfing this down is that I said I'd come here to get dressed, which I have, but I can't eat ice cream around the kids, otherwise they steal it from me. So I can hear them actually making their way over here, so I better finish this last bit of chocolate. I am wearing this denim skirt to death. In fact, I don't think I've really taken this off since I wore it the other night. So I will be changing out of this, however, for our walk, because I feel like when you are walking and playing with the kids, you do want a bit of a leg movement, and as much as this is sort of rather generous, I feel like perhaps leggings or some shorts might be more appropriate for this little outing. But I am going to keep on the vest because it is slightly crisp. This is a little H&M find, and I snapped this up real quick quite a while ago actually, and they never brought it out again. That came in a range of like other normal black, beige and all the regular colours, but I've never seen a tweed patterned vest before, and it is so cozy and just the right amount of warmth with keeping the arms free, of course. Have this little cotton on crop underneath with a basic sweetheart neckline, but I think I will add some shorts and some trainers. I'll even throw in a hat and some glasses, and this is a lot more appropriate. And little one is getting restless, so better head off, and I will see you down at the park and hopefully the garden. Like a gardener. Did some unexpected foraging on the way to the park. Found this silver beet growing in a very dried out communal garden. It's a bit wilted now because it was sitting in the sun a little bit when I collected it, but it shall not go to waste, and I thought I'd put together a little herb braised green warm salad situation with some toasted pine nuts. So I've already got the pine nuts on the go. I'll give all of these a wash. Also foraged the parsley from our garden and feeling quite resourceful. We have one leftover shallot, and I thought I'd make just a little something to nourish us all after a very wholesome afternoon. Handy tip, if you never want to run out of spring onion, you just pop the roots in a little vase of water and they just grow away on their own. You don't have to care for them, and these have been here for perhaps a week, and they've done rather well from being all the way down there. There is just something so wholesome about being resourceful, and I have to admit it's not one of my strong suits, but I really want to get into it. Reducing waste, being self-sufficient, makes you feel very, very satisfied. So I think I might actually get into a little bit of gardening. The silver beet has brought up a very old memory of mine, which was picking silver beet from my nonna's garden, of which she had an absolute abundance of. So basically everything we put together had silver beet in it, and I remember one day I had the opportunity to make up a recipe, and she made up a recipe, and we had a little sort of a cook-off in her little kitchen, and I loved it. I just remember my silver beet was swimming in soy sauce, but because I'd picked it myself and made up the recipe myself and wrote down the recipe, I thought it was the best thing ever. chopsticks as my apparatus because these are quite noodle-like. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, let me go in again. Let me go in again. Okay, so I did take a little inspiration from Ottolenghi. A lot of famous cookbooks. Don't own one, but I think I'm going to purchase one from Amazon. This is from his book called Flavor, which I flicked through and I noticed this recipe, but this is my little take on it. I just used what I had on hand, which I encourage all of you to do because I feel that necessity is the mother of invention. I've created my best recipes that way just by using what I had on hand. What I didn't show on camera, so basically off camera, I added some cinnamon, I added salt, pepper, squeeze of lemon at the end obviously, and I also added a dash of Riesling. This is from our anniversary celebration, a little bit left over in the bottle on the bench, so I added that in as well, and it's just given the most lovely little tang and depth and a little sour edge, and the freshness of all the veggies. You can really just taste the quality of the ingredients. My favorite food to eat is the one where the ingredients just speak for themselves. You just can't get any better than this. Full recipe to come on opalbakes.com. I'll be writing this down in my little recipe book and keeping it with me when I finally launch this website, which will have an abundance of wonderful things like this. Oh, nutmeg. I also added nutmeg. Okay, very, very essential component to this dish. Little update on the makeshift gardening nursery, which is happening under the windowsill near the sink. I'm just thankful that the dishes have been mostly done. So we have here what appears to be some very bendy leeks, which I literally chopped off the bottoms and stuck it in some water, and they've been growing here for, gee, maybe a good month, guys. I have been saving this moment to film with you because we are really struggling for content. So very exciting today. These are going to be going into the ground and we'll track their progress. Then over here, this is some oregano that I stole from Nonna's garden. I've just been sitting in a glass of water, and lo and behold, like, this is a dry twig, and look, it has grown. It's actually grown a root system out of a very dry twig at the bottom. I mean, how nature works is just amazing. Oh my gosh, that root, even the root smells amazing. There's nothing like fresh oregano. Anyway, we are going to go out into the garden, plant these, I think, together wherever I can find a spare spot, basically. And obviously going to don the usual gardening attire. So going to pop on my very posh wellies and do a stitch of gardening, which will hopefully only take me a couple of minutes because, let's face it, I'm not exactly a green thumb, just an aspiring one. Switching out the rings for pair of gloves. I mean, seriously, these nails were not made for gardening. Now, I think I have found a spot in this little bed here which appears to have some spring onion growing. I'm not quite sure what this plant is in the middle, but here seems to be a spare spot. So I think the 2 leeks and the 1 line of oregano will go there. But I thought I'd give you a quick little garden update. So we actually have 3 of these blueberry plants, and I've just realized, because I've noticed some little buds. Sorry, I just adjusted the lighting, it was a bit too bright. These little buds starting to form at the end. Aren't they beautiful? And I think these little buds are going to turn into actual blueberries. They definitely are. Look, you can see the little circular mark on the top. So I think the blueberries might start to form inside there. This is just the outer shell. So basically blueberries start as flowers, and how appropriate is that? They are my favorite fruit. Then we have some more than happy parsley. It has only taken us, what, 20 years to try to grow parsley successfully in a pot, as usually it loves to run wild in the garden bed, but in a pot it was never successful. But these leaves, in comparison to my hand, look how huge they are. I've never seen parsley this big. Now I am a bit apprehensive for this one because this is where, if you remember, I planted my bok choy scraps. So let's see. Sorry, my battery died. Usual story. Let's see how they're doing. Guys, look at this. Oh my goodness. I have not even looked after these babies, and look, they have quadrupled in size. Almost probably ready for picking and eating, I think. And you wouldn't believe, look at this capsicum. That is an adult sized capsicum. Oh my goodness, and look, there's more. 1, 2, 3 new bulbs starting, 2 or 3 new baby capsicums starting to form. I wonder if we can pick this one yet. I'm not sure. I never know when to pick fruit. Well, it's actually a vegetable. Goodness me, you can tell I know my way around a garden. And I think this is spinach, which I could probably start picking, to be honest, so then more can grow. Oops guys, I think I dug up a garlic bulb, so there actually was something growing in there. I'm just going to pop this back a little bit further on perhaps, and we'll just pretend that didn't happen. Ah, the sounds of nature. Some call it peaceful, others find it slightly irritating. And that's as much of the outdoors that I can handle for today. It is very, very cold, but now I assume the babies know what to do. It's their journey now, and all I can do is sit on and watch from hopefully a much warmer place. And again, I'll keep track of their progress. For those of you at all are interested in the journey of 2 leeks and a herb. Great title for a children's book, actually. Moral of the story, as always, at least the outfit is giving gardener, even though I technically am not. Thanks as always for stopping by to the vlog. Stay tuned for next week. I like to upload a short and a vlog weekly. That's what I can manage right now with a very busy family. And anything that I've worn or featured or talked about will be linked in the description box below if you are interested. I'll leave all the links there. And I shall see you soon, my lovelies. Enjoy your foraging and your home cooking, and stay well.